And we're live. Welcome to paraglidingtalk.com. I'm your host, Robert Michaels. I'm stoked tonight. We have some special guests, a couple of them. And it doesn't always happen like this. You know what I mean? We don't always get amazing guests. But tonight we have a couple of amazing guests. Eric and Anthony Karnezis are with us tonight. So you are going to be in for a treat. I want to just, I'm clicking all kinds of stuff over here. Just bear with me for a second. We want to get right into the order of business tonight. This show, paraglidingtalk.com, is brought to you by ppgsmoke.com. We have a very important announcement. PPG Smoke is working on these headphones. Listen, guys, I know everybody's an engineer and everybody knows everything there is to know about everything. And you guys are all experts on everything. Well, these headphones are taking a little bit longer than we thought. And so he's just trying to work out the kinks, make sure that this stuff works out perfect before he releases it to the public. But anyways, he dropped a promo code for all of us, paraglidingtalk.com people. If you get on that list, by the way, we're going to be giving away a motor because we broke the record, and he got 100 pre-orders, and so it's going to happen. So at least one of the motors is going right now. I don't know when we're going to do it. It's going to be soon, but we're giving away a paramotor. Can you believe that? It's a motor, no frame, just the motor, but still amazing because those things are like $3,000. It's going to be the biggest giveaway that we've ever done on the show. So here's what has to happen. Go to the website, ppgsmoke.com. When you check out, put Paragliding Talk, one word, all caps, in the promo code slot, and you will get your headset with $20 off. He said in an email, if you didn't get the email, I sent out a bunch of emails. If you want to get on the email list, you can do that by going to my website, but also to his website. And so, sorry for all the commercial stuff, but I felt like this was really cool that he was going to do this. This is the last time he's going to drop any prices on the headset from what I know. These are all the pre-order people, and you're special. So that's happening. Paraglidingtalk.com. Paramotorprops.com is a sponsor of the show. Get involved. If you're flying paramotors, you blow up a prop, they are the best place to go and buy a prop real quick. That's all they do. They take care of business. They're quick. Also, paraorangeproducts.com. If you want to protect your gear, maybe it's a stuff sack. Maybe it's you want to get some covers for props. You want to get a bag to put your whole motor in. You want to, he's got all kinds of stuff. I think he sells trikes and quads and wings. So their website is paraorangeproducts.com. Eric and Anthony, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I'm stoked that you're here. I wasn't sure if it was going to work out or how it was going to happen, but you guys made it happen. So I appreciate that.
Happy to be here. This is awesome.
I said, stop. When you guys were getting in the sport, I remember when you guys first drove up in the scene, I was still kind of new to the sport. I remember flying with you guys a couple times, and it's always 100% and always fun. I love your guys' energy and everything that you guys bring to the table every time we go fly. So I'm always stoked when you guys show up. Whenever we fly together, we always have a good time. So if you guys don't know these guys, they're obviously twins, and I had to ask Anthony to show me his tattoos so I knew which one he was, because the twins they're legit twins. And so we have maybe, what do we have, like 6 or 7 good flying sites here in Southern California, and we've flown together at most of them except for Palomar. Hey, Palomar, get out of here, Palomar. It's an inside joke. By the way, I forgot to mention the moderation staff: Sean Nafsker, Nick Fasekis, Anthony Peregringo, Craig Taylor. If you guys are watching and you're in the chat, by the way, welcome. So appreciate you being a part of the show. Your name is being written down into the wheel, and we're going to give something away right about the half-hour mark. So stick around and say something in the chat if you want your name. Likely, if you've already been talking, your name's already on the wheel. Sean's on top of it every week. And so I want to start off the show by asking first, how did you guys get in the sport? And we're gonna have some fun with this. Obviously, I'm not trying to turn you guys against each other, but there's a couple questions in here that I have on my list that might make you have to run into the other room and fix some things. But anyways, how how did you guys get into the sport? And Eric, go first.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the better paraglider, so I'll go first for sure.
That's what the lesser paraglider would say, but that's
Yeah. Yep. Knew it.
You can always gauge who the better paraglider is by who's had the most trips to El Cap and back. I mean, just saying.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Started right out the gate, man.
Right out of the gate.
cool. That's cool.
No, it's funny because we this sport, I've always been into extreme sports, and most recently before paragliding, I was doing snowboarding and downhill mountain biking. My older brother actually decided Michael's in trouble. Are you in trouble?
I have to beat this kid. Just bust in a live show, interrupt my guest.
Like, don't you have one of those red lights at your door?
Bro, seriously, you heard me before the show. I yelled it out.
You yelled pretty loud too, man.
Some people
We're live.
We're doing it live. So I'm sorry, sir. That was
No, you're good.
I'll beat him later.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll just not look at the screen, so if it happens again, I'll keep talking.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah.
No, our older brother has been trying to do this for years and years and years, and he's been bringing it up, and we were like, it seems like a lot of work. It's a lot to learn. We're doing a lot of fun downhill mountain biking stuff as it is. And we ended up, for our birthday, he got us a day pass at Eagle Paragliding. And, Eagle's motto is like, you'll fly the first day. And so we went there, and the first day we put on wings, we were flying. And on a little bunny hill, I wouldn't call it flying today, but back then it was flying.
Oh, yeah.
It's flying.
And then that same day, signed up for P2 lessons, bought all the gear, got everything we needed, and ready to rock and roll. It was game over from there. So
no kidding.
Yeah.
So you guys both went on the same day?
Same day. Yep.
Who flew first?
Brother. Huh?
Who flew first?
I did.
Man. You sure?
I did.
You sure?
Yeah, we were all nervous to jump off the mountain, and I was like, I'll go first.
I don't jump off mountains. I launch.
Oh, dang. What about the bunny hill? That's what I'm talking about. Who flew first?
I did.
No kidding. Not even the older brother, huh?
No, he didn't.
So you guys all three got trained at the same time?
Yeah.
Same.
No kidding.
And then we got lucky. There was a SIV like the day after we graduated, and we literally just went straight from graduation to Lake Berryessa, and that really helped kind of hone everything in.
Wait, you went to straight to SIV at Berryessa? Who did you do on SIV with?
We had less than 5 minutes of airtime, I think. We did SIV with Dylan from Let Fly Paragliding.
Okay, no kidding.
It was pretty scary. Yeah.
I want to get him on the show.
He'd be fun.
Yeah.
He's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I want to talk to him. So I did an SIV at Berryessa. That's a beautiful place, man.
Yeah.
They had a fire rip through there this season. Did you see that? Yeah, I'm still not sure how many of those little cabins survived. It ripped right through there.
Oh, wow. The actual campsite area.
Yeah, the cabins where we stayed, I think they all got fire ripped through there. Yeah, I'll find out. I know Max and the guys from Torig are going to do a bunch of them. So, Anthony, talk a little bit about your experience in the beginning. How did it go down?
It was magic, man. I don't know. I just felt like it was. I feel like I've been meaning to do it my whole life. I felt like it was my life's calling. Like everything washed away when I was out there. The first time I launched off that training hill, like I didn't care about any other thing in my life. I didn't care about my other hobbies. I didn't care about my job. I didn't care about friends. I didn't care about anything. I just only wanted to be in the air as much as possible. It was an immediate addiction.
And we should be clear. He doesn't have a job. He owns a business. So when he says he doesn't care about his job anymore, he means he'd rather fly than build his own damn business.
Yeah.
I really would rather do that than anything. A matter of fact, I look forward to a time when that's all I have to do.
Touch the clouds.
Just fly around. So, but yeah, it was great. And then the people, our instructors were great, and so it was really easy to want to keep it up because it was a very family vibe, loving experience. And then the flying community is so amazing. I haven't met a pilot that I didn't like yet. Everybody that flies takes a certain type of person to fly, and those are the kind of people that I like to be around.
Oh
It's
yeah,
it just works out.
birds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you, who was your instructor, and did you have multiple instructors there, or was it just one guy that was helping all of you guys?
There was multiple. The Eagle crew is pretty dialed in, so they run around and get in pretty much bounce around and get you, and they all get give you their special touch.
Okay,
Their
their
everybody's
expertise
definitely-
of.
There's a mother hen though. There's, you'll work with a few people like Drew and Kevin, and they'll throw people at you when you're kiting to help you kite better and to help you launch better and work on your forward launches. But Chris Garcia was the mother hen of the hill every day, all day. And
to this day, I call him. Yeah, if there's a
he's
question,
got eyes in the back of his head.
Yeah, he watches. He sees what's going on. Yeah. To this day, I still reach out for questions.
So I every once in a while, and I don't want you guys to take this the wrong way. You are newer pilots than most people that I have on the show, but I did this on purpose because far too often we have people on here that are high and lofty and nobody can really relate. And so tonight I brought you guys on mainly because I want to pick your brain, and I love the energy. We're all new pilots, you know what I mean? Some of these guys have been flying since the 90s, and your perspective, it's a fresh perspective. Talk a little bit about what and this question is for both of you. Talk about, and maybe Eric, if you'll answer, what is the toughest thing that you came across in getting into the sport?
Okay. That's a tough question because I mean, everything from getting trained by a great school to going straight to an SIV. I mean, I had a lot of confidence in the air. There's little things like my home site, okay, Blossom, I'll say was the hardest thing about learning how to paraglide. Because I mean, at Blossom, I went straight from the training hill to Blossom because in San Diego, that's one of the only places you can fly every day. But so we'd get off work and go straight to Blossom every single day to harness our skills. And in that first month, I did a lot of hike ups and hairpin. They have an emergency landing at the hairpin, and it's the worst landing on the planet. It's nothing but trees and rocks. I mean, you don't want to be there. I've ended up in power lines.
No,
and,
I didn't know that.
I came over the power lines, and then as I I just inches over the power lines, and I come past them, and so then I flared to land, but the power lines were still so close that the wing actually flared back into the line, snagged me, and tangled me all up.
No.
It was pretty rough.
Uncle Jerry was there to witness that one.
Uncle Jerry helped me out. Came down. We had to actually unstrap the harness and pull it, take a big stick and tug it out of the power lines, and I had to get a new stabilo and all kinds of fun stuff.
You had to get a new pair of sunglasses.
And I had to get a new pair of sunglasses. So Blossom was one hell of a learning curve because it's not the flush cycles are just instantaneous. It's like you're going, you're gone. And when you're not prepared for it and you don't know where the hot spots are. So just kind of learning the terrain out here and trying to figure this place out was extremely difficult. I don't consider San Diego to be a free ride like Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara is a free ride. Those guys are all great pilots, but also they're living the dream in that smooth air.
It's just working. What about you, Anthony?
The hardest part to me was probably because the same as Eric, I felt like I was adequately trained. I felt like I still had a strong sense of healthy fear to keep me making the right choices. The hardest part was probably as a new pilot was because our first few launches are with the instructors. with Eagle. They launch you, and then I flew the mountains there 3 or 4 times with them before I ever flew alone. And then so I always had, and they'll keep in your ear and they'll talk to you the whole time. So the hardest part was deciding to make the weather call, show up to a site, and be prepared to launch with no guidance. That's the tough, like when the training wheels are finally off and you finally go somewhere by yourself and do it alone. To me, that was the biggest, the hard, like it wasn't a leap that I hesitated to do, but it was still one of the hardest leaps.
Well, you got in trouble for that too. You showing up to a new mountain by yourself and launching on your own. Steve had your ass, but $10. Steve had your butt with that. Yeah.
Got him. Yeah. So wait, who was it that you got in trouble with?
Steve Robrow.
Steve Robrow. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was definitely giving us he had a lot to say when we first started flying out here.
We were on Telegram. We showed up. We're like, oh, we're at Little Black. We're gonna launch Little Black. We're out of here. And no side intro, but it was such a basic hill. Like
yeah. I learned almost everything I know from that little hill.
Well, he must have had quite a bit to say because it costed him $10, so that's pretty good.
Right.
These guys, when you go to Little Black, everybody, you don't realize it, but there's probably like 20 or 30 pilots that all live around that mountain that can see you when you bring your wing up. They're watching. They literally bought their houses so that their view when they're looking out the window is launch at this little mountain. And so when I went up there breaking all the rules, they would know. And I'm like, how did they know? And so yeah, that's pretty funny. And a lot of people are very protective over that site. I'm trying to pull up some video here from back in the day. It's like maybe a year ago. So let's talk about this. And I want to ask this question. What do you say is the best advice that you've ever received?
Okay.
Eric, go first.
Yeah. So best advice I ever received. There's the one thing I don't respect in this sport is ground suck. That's the one thing. And one time we were at Blossom and we were new, and I had already had a couple crash landings out there at Hairpin and wasn't sure, but it was one of those high wind days that Blossom gets. And so I called my sensei and Chris Garcia, the mother hen. I call him up and we're on speakerphone and we're like, hey, it's kind of windy. We're not really sure what our skill level is for this site and this wind. And the advice that he said, are there wings in the air? And we're like, yeah, there's wings in the air. He said, then get your butts out there and fly.
Oh, wow.
And that was the best advice I've ever been given.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Anthony?
Yeah, no, I guess mine would be similar. Yeah, I was, what was it? I was just standing around, not sure if I should launch. I was at Blossom at this time. And I was standing with Chris Cote before I knew who he was. He was just a dude at the hill wearing some, dorky shoes, if you ask me. Yeah. Or some like old Keds or something, Yeah. And I had no idea who he was, but we were chatting, and I was like, I wasn't sure. I was second guessing myself, saying to myself, and he was like, man, just fucking launch. I was like, if you have to land, you fucking go land.
And
got him. And
20s, cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Can't let that pass. Family friendly show. Two bombs, two big bombers. And what's the timestamp on that, Robert? What's the timestamp on that? Yes.
Good call.
9:19.
We didn't last long.
Okay. No, you didn't.
By the way, these guys both watch the show because I see them every once in a while just pop in trolling or saying what's up or so they do watch the show.
That's why I gotta be hard on them.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah.
Yeah, we have no excuse. Well,
see, if I'm not hard on you, the chatters would be. So I got to get on you, or else they'll get on me, and it's like, Will Fly
donated $5 to the super chat. Will Fly, thank you. He won something last week. I can't remember what, but winner chicken dinner. I'm pulling up the video. Eric and I went to El Cap if I can get past my own commercials. Hold on just a second.
My first time. You led me on my first journey. What a magical day that was. Nothing's better than the first time reaching El Cap. Nothing.
It is such a trip. Now, Anthony has been to El Cap.
Indeed.
And probably a number of times now, but this first time is very it's magical, man. I'll tell you what, I made a video, my first video of going to El Cap, and I didn't have all the instruments that I have now, and I didn't have all the knowledge I have now. And so it was intense, but I when I dropped the video, I literally dropped like a 30-minute video. No one is ever going to watch a 30-minute video on YouTube. But, you know, I was just like, every piece of this I have to share. I can't edit any of this out. And so, yeah. So I have to say this. I bring these guys to El Cap. And, James Southern donated $20. He said, for the amateurs out there, thank you, James. And also Jordan Scone, great to see more twins in the sport. Jordan also is a twin. And he's, yeah, so that's cool. Thank you for your contribution. Yeah, my computer can't hang. Dang it. It's, I should have did a restart before I fired this off. Anyways, we go to the Cap. These guys are out thermaling me and literally just killing it. And I said it in the radio. I'm like, no, man. I'm like, are you kidding me? You guys are just killing it. And so in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to take these guys over here and show them what's up. And they get to the Cap and they're way higher than me. I'm like, what the heck? I was like, no way. So I'm going to go, I'll catch up to them. And if you're into free flying, there's this little, like you want to kind of be on top if you can. You're always trying to be a little bit higher because height is power, right? The higher you are, that means the further you can go, and the longer that you're in the air, the longer your flight, all that. And so anyways, I thought it was hilarious that we get over there, and especially Eric was on, he was on the I can't even remember what wing.
I was on an open pod, open harness with my B wing, my hook 5.
Yeah, that's what was the hook.
Just tilting around. Yeah.
Let me just see if I can share this little part of my. Here we go. Share. Let's open this. Make this full screen. You can see a shot all the way over to the right. And so that
little hook.
Yeah, he was so far down there, and in my mind I was like, oh, that's low to go, but it's all good. And now keep in mind, I didn't tell him, hey, you're all good to go at whatever altitude. I think we were working a thermal to leave together, and so you can see. Anyways.
Just for the record, the speed bar on a hook is basically a drop bar. I mean, it's an elevator right down on the speed bar.
It's a landing bar.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I have to show this. So this is the part where he just barely makes it over the power lines. I don't know how good you're going to be able to see this, but just hold on. Let me just share this because it's so good.
He was kicking treetops.
Watch, just look at this image. Can you see the wing? You guys see where he's at?
Oh yeah, that's neat.
There's the wires.
I
remember that flight. You never forget your first flight to El Cap. I remember that.
Barely made it. I'm not like, oh man, just hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. So anyways, he did make it all good. And
I made it. And I got to rock pile too.
Yeah. So that particular day was good. And he made it by the skin of his teeth. But then we went together, Anthony and Eric, and somebody else was with us that day. And you guys had both just stepped up on your wings, and pretty incredible. So anyways, enough of that. I want to ask some more questions about the your best advice. So Eric, you said best advice was you see wings in there, get out there. I want to touch on something on that. There is obviously you can't just fake it to make it in this sport. It is a legitimately dangerous thing to think that you can have. This is not a pride sport. You can't really have pride in this sport. You're going to get jacked up. And I don't mean just by crashing or dying or whatever. I'm talking that there are things that happen that will humble you. It's automatic. And I remember when somebody had mentioned to me, they had said something along the lines of, "Hey, you need to dial this back," and that was right after Palomar, and I was flying with the big boys, and I said something about that. I'm like, I'm gonna go fly with the big boys, and but I wasn't a big boy. I had no business being out there, and now, just for the sake of balance, I was with my instructor. We just didn't anticipate wind shear at 6,000 feet. And I was just excited to fly. I didn't care. But when I hit that wind shear, lost my wing, all that. DP donated $10 super chat. Thanks, DP. Appreciate you. Alms for the poor, of course. That was his comment. So consider what we're saying here tonight, that it's, you. And I just want to bring a balance to, if you do fling it off the hill because you see other people in the air, be careful, because there's a good chance that those guys might all be ballers and you may not be a baller. And so better have everything together before you do that. I'll tell you why. I watched a couple guys. We all landed. This is all the locals. Okay. It was a bunch of us. And the Tory students were at Blossom. This very rarely happens. Some stronger wind moved in. We knew it was coming, and all of us kind of handled it. The strong, it was already strong. And then we all kind of handled it, said, yeah, I'm over it. And most of us spiraled down, Dave and a bunch of other guys. And this front comes through, and it's making everyone go up. They're all parked, and they're all going up into the clouds. And so at one point we look, and there's 4 different students with big ears. And they're parked, and they're not going down. The lift was so good and so strong. But anyways, it was, that's obviously an exception. So let's enough of me talking. Talk about your first terror moment. And Anthony, if you'll start it off.
Oh, first terror moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to take it all the way back, I've had a few moments where I was completely terrorized. I've almost scared myself out of the sport a few times, except the sport calls me. But the first time I actually was like scared out of my pants and was very thankful to land, but then couldn't wait to launch again. I was actually still at the training hill, and it was my first thermal. It was really on at the hill. Sometimes I had these great days at the hill where you could just go straight up. And I go out there, and I'm learning how to do thermal, and I'm going, and the thermal it's pushing me, right? So, I'm digging in, and it's knocking me out. I don't know what's going on. And so I just crank this one down and this one up, and end up doing probably a 35. It felt like a full-on downward spiral, but it was probably 35-40%. But yeah, I went into a downward spiral right there at the training hill, right out front over the field there. And then they got on the radio, they corrected me real quick, and then I swung out of it, and I was flying straight into the hill. I had to do a 180 real quick, and the whole thing, I thought I was going to die. So it was the scariest, probably one of the scarier moments, because back then I didn't know what I was doing. Now, if something happens, I kind of know what the wing wants me to do. Back then, I had zero clue what was going on, but I was just, the first time feeling G-forces that low to the ground, it was insane.
Oh,
yeah.
And low.
So low. Got lucky.
Eesh.
Yeah, the guy that saved me, I still to this day call him Maverick, because you know how on Top Gun that Maverick flew that guy down?
Yeah.
He was like, he jumped on the radio, and he was okay, whatever he said. I don't even remember what he said. Probably like brake, loose, turn. I don't know what he said.
Yeah.
But he was talking, and he was the voice of an angel that day. Still to this day call him Maverick. That was Kevin, an instructor that used to work there named Kevin.
Okay. Eric, what you got?
That's funny. That incident that he's talking about was a lot more hectic and chaotic than he's making it sound. It was like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
on Palomar, but 50 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
It was pretty nuts. I mean, the whole training hill stopped and freaked out. We thought
Oh,
we
I
were going to
bet.
play. Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a couple eye openers. I jumped up to a C wing, you know, the Delta 4 came out, and all of a sudden there's all these Delta 3s on the market, which is the perfect wing, the Ferrari of wings. Mwah, que bella.
Oh,
But so I grabbed this wing, and it's fast and it's extremely responsive. And I'm flying better than I've ever flown in my life. It's that wing is cheating. But with that extra advantage in that cheating comes a little bit more risk. And so, God, I guess the worst incident, well, I mean, I stalled it landing and flung it to the ground at Blossom. I don't know if you were there for that.
wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
You
I had to
stalled
take
the
a month
glide?
off. I hurt my back so bad. Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did. I didn't
Flapping my
see it.
damn wings.
Yeah.
Flapping
Okay.
my wings like an idiot. And everybody says don't flap your wings. But
Yeah.
when you come from a hook 5, I mean, to stall a hook, you got to take a triple wrap and pull it below your butt.
Yeah.
To stall a delta, you just have to drop your arms a few inches, and that thing will stall it. You know, and so I flapped it right into a stall and pivoted back, pendulum backwards, and then slammed on my tailbone from 30 feet up over bailout. I had some great witnesses. I had the Bloom brothers. I had my homie Brad. You know, just all the best pilots in San Diego got to watch me do that. Not embarrassing at all.
Not embarrassing
at all. I wasn't even there for that one.
But no, it hurt. I mean, it hurt. It knocked the wind out of me. I couldn't fly for 2 months. And so I learned a valuable lesson there. In fact, since that accident, I don't flap my wings. I come in full trim speed. I come in hot and heavy, and I don't flare till the very end. And if my timing's not right, I just overshoot it and turn back for more.
Yep.
So it was a good lesson.
Yeah. I learned that from Chris Cote. He mentioned that when I was a brand new pilot. He said something about flapping. He goes, yeah, he said, you can use it. It's a tool, but flapping is an indication of a screw up long before you got to that spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I know exactly when I screwed up. I did my S turn too soon, and then I did my next S turn too soon, and now I'm pushing up out in front of bailout. I had to come down, too low to turn around for a better take, but too high to land. And I tried to elevator down, and it hurt so bad. My ego too. I mean, the worst witnesses. Like if it was a bunch of B pilots, you know, but no, it was all the best. So
yeah. One of the guys in the chat asked, how long have you guys been flying? In more than 2 years, 200 hours?
It's been about 200 hours, I'd say. And
no way.
More?
100 hours? It's been 2 years.
2 years?
100 hours, probably.
About a little over 2 years, because we learned on our birthday. Our older brother took us to Eagle on our birthday.
Oh, that's perfect.
And we're coming up to one. Wait, so it's almost, so this is 2 years. Yeah, so this is just now about to be 2 years.
Wow. Seems like longer. That's crazy.
It seems like longer because we you know, the first year and a half, it was just all we wanted to do was fly. So we were just up y'all's ass every day trying to fly with everybody.
Yeah. Where are you at? Where are you at?
I owe money, by the way. I owe money for that.
Yeah, flying cookies. Like every so many years, like 2 years you get a cookie, 3 years you get a brownie, you know, 4 years you get a cake, you know, and some ice cream. Your 5th year you get like, you know, a full meal or something. That would be so cool.
I'm telling you, I'm digging the Delta 4. I'm thinking maybe Alpina 4. They just look magical. I'm waiting for some feedback. I need to hear what people say about the Alpina 4 before I pull the trigger, but I know they're popping them out.
I'm pretty in love with that Delta 3. I don't think there's a better wing. But
I'm flying the Alpina 2, which is the Delta 2. That wing is bad to the bone.
But and then the Allegra Phi, you know, that Phi is supposed to be really nice. People have been talking about it.
Yes,
so.
I've heard a couple. I want to try one. Yeah. So there's a couple questions in the chat. I do want to mention a couple of sponsors. One, and this is the local, it's a local, has nothing to do with flying sponsor, a real sponsor for the show that, anyways, it's American Ally Drains and Plumbing. If you're in the San Diego area, especially, and you need plumbing, American Ally Drains and Plumbing is your company. So if you mention Paragliding Talk, when you call them, they'll give you a 10% discount. And I actually talked to him. I was like, you don't have to do that, man. That's, what? No, I want to do it. That's what we want to do. And yeah, pretty awesome, man. So check out their, you can follow them on Instagram. American Ally is the handle, and their phone number is 844-777-9055. That's American Ally Plumbing and Drains. And they're awesome, man. Also, this show is brought to you by Nebraska PPG. If you guys know Josh Bowden, super cool guy. He runs a school in Nebraska. And if you're interested in getting some training and you're in that area, reach out to him. And he has endless resources. And actually, he played a huge part in me getting a paramotor. He's got all kinds of information, just very wise and super cool guy, very patient. So reach out to him. There's a link in the description if you want to get a hold of him. And I don't know that his website is active, but you can message him on Facebook or whatever at Nebraska Paramotor. Yeah. Are we at the half hour mark? Oh, yeah. We're at the half hour mark.
And the links are in the chat, y'all. Thanks to Craig Taylor.
Yeah. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate that.
Just give a shout out there for moderator Craig Taylor because he does such a great job. As a matter of fact, does Craig Taylor have something to tell everyone about?
What does he have?
I don't know. Does he? Craig?
You set him up. He's not ready.
No, you can't make him promote his own stuff. I'm the only one that's allowed to do that.
That's right. Okay, that's right.
That poor guy.
True that.
Make him
Okay.
do that. Wicked Wings logo.
You didn't spin the wheel yet?
He woke up from his nap. All right, great job, buddy. I'm glad you're on it. Yeah. All right, so we go do this wheel spinning thingy.
Well, we need to know what we're giving away first, right?
Yeah. What are we giving away?
We should give away something good. Somebody made a comment last week that we should give away some AMS oil. How about a bottle of Sabre?
Ooh.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so no more names because I got all the names in there already. All right, so I'm going to share my screen.
This can be yours.
This technology.
Paraglidingtalk.com.
Here we go. Yeah.
AMS oil, synthetic 2-stroke oil. This stuff is bomb.
Here we go. You ready?
Fire away.
Spinning it.
Yeah. By the way, this show is brought to you by iFly Indiana, powered paragliding. If you're interested in flying paramotors, no better place to get proper training than iflyindiana.com. Kevin and his team will get your feet off the ground. Yeah, that's this spin is there's some handful of people in here tonight. How many? Let me go to my little page here and see what's going on around here. 75 people. My word.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got a good turnout.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, the Twins are bringing them in tonight.
And we got to say a thank you to all the fans that watch the show.
Come on, Robert Michaels. Oh, too fast.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
It might be Sean.
This thing is so fixed. Are you
It's
kidding
rigged.
me? What? Oh,
Come
this
on,
is
NASCAR.
rigged.
You put yourself in the wheel?
I don't do it every time.
That's the first time you've ever won
wow.
anything. We are episode 164. So I don't know how long we've had the wheel, but that is a lot of spins. You've never won. You won tonight.
That is, I won tonight. But in all fairness, okay, since I am a moderator on the show, and I did do a very good job of crunching up Anthony's hopes and dreams and aspirations of getting away with, $30 worth of cussing fee.
That's right.
I'm going to spin the wheel again. All right.
Okay, do it.
And
we're going to give you one and the next person.
And no. I'm going to remove myself from the wheel right there.
No.
Boom. Oh yeah. Here we go. Ready? And
right,
spin. There we go.
All right.
Let's see who's going to win this. What is it? Motul?
Are you not going to use it if I send it to you?
Well, no, I'm
Would
spinning
you?
the wheel.
I'm asking. Would you use Sabre?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I probably would. I don't see why not. I use
I just
oil,
want to make
but
sure. All right.
I want to make it fair for the guests here. The viewers of the show, the people that make us able to do what we
Sean,
do, Robert.
He figured out how to rig this thing for sure.
You know,
if you just pay him,
if I do, Woody will
he'll
win.
make you win.
If this is rigged, Woody will win.
Woody?
Yeah.
Let's see. You're gonna
winging it. Woody will win, and winging it. Woody's not winning, so it's totally not fixed. See, they look at me.
How much did Woody?
Oh, watch!
pay
Just ends up landing on KC8 or 80 RW. Are you kidding me? Really? Casper. Oh, is it dog choking? Dog choking dog? Oh.
Yep, my dog is choking. I don't even have a dog.
Congratulations, choking dog. My dog is choking. Good job. My dog is choking. Congratulations, buddy.
That's
Heck yeah,
amazing.
good stuff.
Everybody loves some AMSoil. So I'm going to send one to you, Sean. I'm also going to send one to my dog is choking. So please, I need your information. Please reach out to me through paraglidingtalk.com contact and put your information there. I will send these out to you. 1 quart AMSoil Saber. Good stuff for the paramotoring. What do you guys think about paramotoring?
I want to get in on it.
Are you serious? Okay.
Yeah.
You want to try it, huh?
I
Don't
definitely
do
wanna-
it. Once you do it, you'll be hooked on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the Brat crew one day. That's fine with me. I feel like that'd be really nice to be able to get up there without fighting for it. Just turn it on and go.
Well, I could say this, Anthony. Expect you now. Look at Robert. Look really closely. Do you see the cheese? Expect that, because after you've landed, it's been nothing but that ever since. His cheeks hurt.
That's really fun.
Still.
I could imagine.
It's just there's certain days at Blossom that you can't fly, and it'll just be a sledder, and you'll hike, and you'll be like, well, I did get to fly for 2 seconds, and that was fun. And then you're hiking all sweaty, trying to just justify why you just did what you did because you wanted to fly so bad. But I went up there the other day. It turned off. Everybody flushed. They hit the bailout. They hit the hairpin. Even some good guys hit the hairpin. And I'm like, wow. I'm going straight home. I was at the top, drove home, got my motor. I said, I'll be back, guys. I came back with the motor while everybody was packing up, and I flew around Blossom, went to El Cap, came back. Just
no way.
Just
I
saying.
didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you ain't allowed to, but I did.
You ain't allowed to.
No, there's no rule about you can't do this or that. Blossom, I mean, that's the Wild West. Oh, Mom donated $5 to the super chat. Thank you, Mom.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
That's so
How many hours you got on that motor now, Robert?
7.5.
Wow.
You're not using it enough.
Yeah, I don't need it because I just free fly.
Hey, speaking
I
of
got some
mom, which one does mom love best, Eric or Anthony?
Oh, me, Anthony, all day.
Wait, what was the question?
Which one does mom love best?
Oh, dang, that's brutal.
Yeah, she loves the better pilot. Duh.
Dang, it's easy.
And do you think that Eric's the smarter one because he has all the books in the background?
No,
but have I read them?
That's a trick. Yeah, that's something that people that can't read do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should see me play that guitar. It's horrible.
So let's talk about this. What I usually ask this question of people that are been in the sport for a while now, but just bear with me. What would you tell new pilot you? And that's easy because you guys are twins. You can think of like that. What would you tell yourself now when you were standing on that beginner hill, if you could go back in time and be like, hey, bro, look at me. What would you tell yourself?
That's a really tough question. Because I feel like I've been so calculated and professional almost about the sport. Flapping my wings was pretty stupid, but typically I've been really, really smart about the weather calls and the judgment calls. And I think that I've been doing great. I will say I may have jumped into a faster wing, maybe a little bit too quick, or maybe it wasn't too quick, but maybe I just didn't spend enough time practicing on a smaller hill before actually flying it in real conditions. Because I did stall it over Blossom twice. just flying, stalled it just flying, just thermaling. I stalled it.
No kidding.
Yeah. And Anthony witnessed one of them and actually called me out on it and was like, I saw that because I almost died. But I had a few issues with it. And then it was so easy to glide. It never loses altitude. You can be on full speed bar and you're almost climbing. And so I'm tracking Palomar. I make it all the way to the valley. And I end up getting caught in this Venturi effect. And so I start sinking. So I turn to get out in front and I can't get out front because the Venturi pinned me in and it drops me straight down into rotor. And literally everything I ever learned in SIV, I had to use to not crash into the mountain at that point. And it was pretty insane. One of the scariest moments of my life was fighting rotor behind Palomar Mountain. Somehow, by the grace of God, I got out under the rotor zone. And at about 20 feet off the ground, I was able to kind of like angle around and go land in a flat spot. And I had a perfect tippy toe landing. But getting through that rotor zone was pretty chaotic. And so maybe just doing too much too fast, I would say. One guy told me, Mitch Riley said back in the day when we were first learning that it's a decade sport, but this is the kind of sport you get good in a decade.
Wow.
That your first year isn't as important. Like you don't have to do every flight every time on your first year or even your second year. You can hike up to launch and take the day off. And not every flight has to be enjoyable either. And it's a decade sport. And so I think maybe just really owning that statement would be smart because I definitely did a little bit too much too fast. Yeah.
What do you got, Anthony?
I would say in the beginning, what I would say is, I was really hard on myself, the little things, and there might even been some ego mixed into there, but like sometimes your landing is looking, your landing is really bad. Maybe you're coming in faster than you expected, and so you end up going down on your butt and taking a tumble. I've had flights that everybody got up and out and I went straight to a landing. Just couldn't do it. Couldn't work the magic that everybody else did. And, these days I've done launches where I pull up and it goes sideways and it drags me in the bushes and I'm halfway down the hill now with spiky thorns in my leg and everybody's up on top like, oh, yeah, shouldn't have pulled up at that moment. It was kind of cross, But and in all these moments, and when I was learning, it was all like, oh shit, I'm an idiot. Oh, why'd I do that?
$10.
Yeah. Oh, darn. I'm an idiot. And I'll pay you.
It came with the wallet today.
Right. I'm good for it. So, but yeah. So anyway, I was really hard on myself, and then I was also, which is usually not like me, but I also had some ego in that where I didn't like the people seeing it happen to me, because I wanted to be in this community. Ever since I started flying, I've wanted to be a part of this community. And I take my reputation in this community serious. Yeah. And, I would like really beat myself up like, oh, fuck, oh, darn. Everybody was watching. And so, so it was, beat myself. So I'll tell myself to relax. Like you're going to have a bad landing. You're going to have a bad pull up. Yeah. You're going to have a bad flight.
And get dragged across launch.
Yeah, you're gonna get dragged across launch.
Even when you've been flying forever.
Yeah. So I guess I would just do that. Be like, relax.
By the way, Big Tex donated $25 to the Super Chat. And he said, I miss Craig Taylor, and this made me feel better. So I appreciate that. Thank you for contribution.
Are any of the viewers going to donate to my fund?
You're kind of breaking up, but I think you're saying that you're hoping that some people will kick in for you to cover your potty mouth.
Donate to my cuss fund.
Yeah. Trike Flyer David Ruff donated $5 for the Super Chat. He said, for Sean, someday I'll be as good a wheel guy. And yeah.
Well, thank you, Trike Flyer.
Thank you for that contribution.
It's very kind. Yeah. It's very awesome. Kind.
So let's talk a little bit about, I always ask this question too, of people, and I'll say, what advice do you have? Because let's take the limelight off of you for a minute. What advice do you have for the aspiring pilot or the brand new pilot? What advice do you have? There's a ton of people in here that are watching, a lot of motor people that want to get into free flying. What advice do you have for them? There's 83 people watching.
I'm gonna say trust your judgment. If you think it's too windy, then it probably is. If you're nervous on launch, if you're standing there at launch and you're breathing heavy and you're looking back and it's windy and you're afraid to pull up because you don't want to get tossed around and people are watching you, and I mean, just walk away. Let people fly. It's that decade sport. That conversation comes back to me every time. It's a decade sport. You don't got to get good today. You get good over time.
Very good.
Yeah, I
Anthony?
would say the same thing. Just keep flying in your zone, and accept advice, because a lot of pilots won't give any, and the ones that do probably do because they can, and so it's good to soak that in.
Skylar Costa kicked down $10 to cover for your cuss fund. He said, serious talk, serious language, paid in advance for Anthony.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
man.
Skylar Costa. Yeah, you guys are
That's
awesome.
awesome.
So let's talk a little bit about where you're headed as far as this sport. Now, you guys both recently made some changes with your harnesses, and you went from open harness to pod harness. Talk a little bit about that. What was your experience in changing? A lot of people ask this question, and I don't think I've heard enough answers on this.
I think for me, I went from a Wani 2 open harness to a XR7 by Woody Valley, also same brand, but XR7, and which is, it's like a Ferrari. I mean, it's literally that with the Delta 3, you can't beat it. But I initially flew that pod with my Hook 5, which is a pretty funny and embarrassing combination. But the one thing that caught me up right away, and we obviously, the first few flights I did at Torrey Pines, that way I could really get comfortable in that laminar air. But the hand positioning, so in a pod, they're a little bit more, everything's more in front and up higher, whereas in the open harness, it's like lower and behind you more. And so I was actually holding my brakes more than I should have been. So you have to remember, like my experience in my pod was, I had to remember to hold my hands up higher so that I wasn't pulling the brakes, because my comfortable, this is me in an open harness, and then like this is me in a pod. So that was one thing that I had to get used to. And then other than that, I mean, it was like magic. Like all of a sudden I was aerodynamic. All of a sudden I could actually fly. Speed bar, I understood speed bar at that point because it was actually working. Open harnesses, I'm not really sure. I don't see the beauty in it. I don't feel it. I don't vibe with it anymore after going into a pod. I really don't. So
let me interject real quick and say that I think you still made a good decision. That's controversial. Some people are going to argue with me about that, and I know that. Somebody who's new on an A wing or a low B wing getting into a pod harness, I'm going to tell you why I think it's good. If you're learning in something, I think it's important that you get into what you're going to learn together. You're going to learn your wing and your harness at the same time. Your harness is going to stay the same. Your wings might change, but your harness is going to be pretty much the same. If you plan on flying cross country, and you know that you're going to end up in a pod, get in it sooner than later. That's just my opinion. Look, talk to your instructor. Everybody's their own. Yeah, I think that was a wise choice. You knew where you were headed. Better. You made that decision.
Yeah, I feel better with it. Also, I had a SIV and a cross country clinic in Columbia before I leveled up. So, I mean, I had tons of experience with how to handle myself in emergency situations, and lots of experience trekking out over flatlands and going on 6-hour journeys, closing the box in Columbia. So I did a lot before. I didn't just get the pod, but I did get the pod before I got the wing, for sure.
Okay.
And then upgraded
Anthony,
the wing later.
What are your thoughts on that?
So a few thoughts. One, it's going to depend on who you are and what you want out of the sport. If you're trying to, if you just want to sight fly and enjoy the view, pod's not for you because the view's gone. You know, I feel like also just maybe it's just me in the pod, but I feel like my legs get tired a little faster because I'm pushing them straight out instead of just letting them dangle. So, you know, there's those things. I noticed that my shoulders get fatigued more because my hands are like this, and I just for some reason up here, just after an hour and a half of flying, I'm just like, you know, I start wanting to drop one hand, but I like to keep my hands on my lines, and so I don't like to drop a hand. You know, I do a lot of the, you know, I hook my finger in. They got the little loops up there. You can hook your finger in and relax. But
you're flying to Delta now too?
I'm on I'm still on the UP, the Summit XC4.
Okay.
So
they got the little loop.
that's
what I got too.
Yep. It's
a
fun wing. I'm a little underweight, and so I'm looking for a new wing right now because I was flying with ballast, and it's just my launches and my landings aren't as comfortable with all the extra weight. So I'm actually looking for a new wing.
What weight range?
This one goes up to 115. But you know,
what are you looking for?
I'd be better suited on a 110.
Okay.
Nice. You know, the 110 top.
Yeah.
You know, just that extra little bit goes a long way for me. Cause I only weigh like 185 pounds. So probably with my gear, I'm probably 205.
You got your eye on another wing. What are you looking at?
I don't know. You know, I was thinking the Allegra, the Fia Allegra, or the Delta 4, honestly. But then I was thinking I know. So
those things are so nice.
They're pretty.
Anyways. When you can't get excited about anything in life anymore. It's like cars, yeah, whatever. House, yeah. Like job, you know, work, truck, this, that, and that. Wing. You're like, I want a wing. I just want a wing. What do you want for Christmas? I want a wing.
Yeah, I want to pick my colors.
I want a new wing. I want a Delta 4.
I want a Delta 4.
Better ask somebody. So I want to just mention a couple sponsors. One is Lone Star Paramotor. If you're in the Lone Star State of Texas, reach out to Ron Turan and his team for world-class training. The website is lonestarparamotor.com. You want to get involved, that's where to do it. Also, the show is brought to you by Torrey Pines Glider Port. Didn't you know? They are a sponsor of this show. Torrey Pines Glider Port is the most beautiful place to learn paragliding that I know of. If you want to get involved, the website is flytorrey.com. If you're coming in from out of town and you're trying to fly at Torrey Pines, number one rule is to tell them that you found out from paraglidingtalk.com and then give them a little money, and then everything is just happy. You fly all day. You do have to be a P3 to fly Torrey Pines. And if you talk to the guys over there and you don't have a P3 and you want to get it, that is the spot to get it done. Ain't that right, Craig Taylor?
Sure is, boss. I'm willing to bet. You didn't catch me off guard tonight. I
saw that. You're not muted and everything. You're ready to rock and roll.
However, I don't have anything to say about Resurgence PPG that isn't positive. If you know somebody that is a veteran that could benefit from the experience of flight, nominate them at Resurgence PPG. I'll put the link in the chat, of course. It's a 501c3 for veterans by veterans. The program I've been able to witness many times in different locations. It's a fabulous thing for those guys and the families and friends of. I know it's changed my life, and I'm not personally a veteran, but they hold a dear place in my heart. Check them out at resurgenceppg.com. Donate, nominate, use smile.amazon.com. Any little thing helps.
Yeah.
I appreciate it very much.
Yeah. Check your notems.
Check your notems and TFRs. Watch out for VIP movement. They really mess things up.
Guess what? Craig Taylor is officially a pilot.
I have become a PPL. I'd need to do check ride, but everything else is done.
That is so rad.
It was a very humbling experience. Flying paramotors to go into fixed wing was definitely more of a transition than I expected. I was like, I got this. Yeah,
Got this. I fly paramotor. Come on, guys.
I know the airspace.
I know aerospace. Come on.
What else do I need to know? Yeah, I'm reading books like this thick. I'm like, man, I didn't even do all this work. What the?
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous
great.
after you said that. I want to do the same thing, so I'm looking forward to it. To eventually, I'm going to get my fixed wing stuff. So real quick before we leave, I do want to mention something. ppgzone.com. Josh Perry, he's created his own social media. You could call it a network if you want. And I'm a part of it. I created a profile and all that stuff. And actually, that was before he before he started sponsoring the show. It's a great place to go and get information. There's videos on there. There's all kinds of tutorials. There's articles, and it's really nice, really well put together. And he didn't beat around the bush, and he's smart with the computer stuff. So go check it out. That website is ppgzone.com. Go on there, and then once you create your profile, ping me on there. I'm interested to see who's jumping on there. That's ppgzone.com. We are going to go to the after show. Eric and Anthony, thank you so much for coming on. Just tons of really good insight for free flight stuff. And I'm stoked. By the way, let's connect. If you guys want to try to maybe fly the motor at some point, you're welcome to play around with mine for sure. Like community paramotor. So anyways, we're going to go to the after show. If you're one of the Patreon supporters or you supported the show on PayPal or in the super chat, you're welcome to join us in the after show. Just drop your email link in the description, and you're welcome to come hang out with us in the after show. Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't get to all the questions. That just means we have to have them on again. So would you guys be interested in doing it again?
Oh, you already know.
Awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, you guys are great. I really appreciate you coming on tonight. Sean Nafsker, Nick Fazakis, Anthony Peregringo, Craig Taylor. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We're going to go to the after show. Paraglidingtalk.com.